Hey guys, I'm Avro and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video will be on how we can automate Google spreadsheets with Python, and we'll use a Python module called Gspread for this. So before we start writing the codes, we need to enable particular APIs, and also we need to work with Google Cloud Platform. Few workflow which I will also write down, and I will give the link down below. You can follow those path, and if you already know, you can directly skip to the part where I'll write the codes. But first I will explain, or I'll just go through the protocols where we need to enable the APIs, the Google APIs, and also we need to create a project in the Google Cloud Platform. So first let's do that. If you hit this search called Google Cloud Platform, and like this, go to Cloud Console, and here let me shift to my other Google account which I normally use. Here you need to go and create a new project, right? So I already have few projects, so I'll create a new project here, and I will name it as, let's say, test YouTube demo, right? So I just write like this. You just press the create out here now, and now once it is created, it's still taking a few seconds more, but I think it's created now. We shift to this particular project, test YouTube demo. Once we go here, we need to actually enable few APIs. So one of them will be Google Sheets API. If you just search it, Google Sheets API, we'll go to this marketplace where you need to enable the API. So I enable this API, right? We are enabling Google Sheets API, and the next thing will be Google Drive API, which we also need to enable. So for that, we'll again put that in the search button. So I just recently searched it, so I just go to this Google Drive API now, and again I enable. So this two API needs to be enabled after we create this new project. This just takes few seconds. We are back here now again. So once this part is done, we go to this place called, let me say it once, the API services, and here we go to enable APIs and services, if I'm not wrong. Let me see, I hope this will work. And we go to I think service account, or we do credentials, and here we need to create a new service account. So how we can do that? So we press create credential, and we press the service account. So here we need to put the service account name, where we can put as let's say demo G Sheet. So it's Google Sheet YouTube, okay? And that's all. We press the create and continue part, and then we need to give a role. So I just give the owner role, right? This is good enough, and we hit the continue button. Once we've done that, this is optional part, we just press done. So most of these things are done now, and we need to create a JSON file. How we can do that? So now if we hit the manage service account, we get this options, right? So this is the email ID which we need. And before doing that, let me go here in actions, and here we need to press the manage keys, and we'll add a key. So we'll create a new key, and here we will download the JSON file, right? And if you see, this is one of this JSON file which test YouTube demo. This one I will copy and paste in the same folder where our Python script will run. So this particular Jupyter notebook folder inside Python Google Sheet Automation, I will paste this particular JSON file which we just downloaded now, right? And this will be the service key which we need for our script to run. So we copy this particular email ID which we see out here, and now if you go to this test, and you open the database, that is a Google spreadsheet, we go to share. So it's already shared. I was testing this particular database before that, so I will just now press it here, and I send it, right? And I send it. That's all. So this is something which we need to do. So that means our spreadsheet is now shared with this particular service account key. So once this step is done, we are ready to go. So now let's start writing few lines of codes together, and I hope you guys will enjoy this part. let's do that. We already have our JSON file which we just downloaded here, right? The test YouTube demo file. So I have already uploaded that in the same folder where we will write our codes now. So this is the particular file, and this will be a credential files, okay, so which we created right now from Google Cloud Council platform. So first we need to import few modules, right? We import modules. So what are the modules we need? We import Gspread. If you don't know about this module, I just show you this Gspread Python module. If you just search for it, it's a very popular package which people use. You can use it pip install Gspread, and then you can check out for a few quick example. We'll use few of this also out here right now. So this is how we install it, pip install Gspread, right? And the other thing which we need, since we'll be dealing with this kind of data right now, it's like a table, or it's like a 2 columns, so we need pandas. I'm pretty sure you guys have used pandas. If not, I'm also planning to create a YouTube video on that. So for time being, let's import this thing, and we just run our Python this particular script, right? Now the next thing is we need to give the credential file, right? So we say it's create a file, and we need to put our credential file name. So as you see, it's .json, this particular file, copy this file name, and I put it here. So this is the file, right? It's done. So once we have this part, the next is we say gc equal to gspread dot service account, if I'm not wrong, and we give the file name. So it's a cred file. So that's all we need to do, right? Let me correct myself here. It should be cred gspread. So gspread dot service account, and this should be cred file, right? Then it makes sense. So we run this particular block, and then if we run this part, we see it's running well, right? And now if we check on just gc, we see the service client. That's perfect. So the next thing which we need to do is we need to establish the connection, right? And by that, what do I mean? So we have this database, right? This is the name of this particular Google spreadsheet. So we need to connect to that. How we can do that? For doing that, we need to use this particular command. So let's say we database, or we can just give any variable name, and we say gc. So the connection which we established here, we say gc dot open. So here we see this open argument, and we put the name of our Google spreadsheet, which is called as database, right? So we go here, we just put that name, and we run this cell, and we just need to create a print maybe. So it will be, yeah. So now we see a particular spreadsheet with this particular ID, which can be also accessed later, but I'm not going into that right now. So our connection is established. So the next thing is what? Next thing is to access any particular worksheet. So let's say the worksheet is inside database, which is a Google spreadsheet. We have sheet 1 and sheet 2, which are the 2 worksheets which we see. So for that, how we need to do is, let's say we say worksheet 1, or we just say worksheet, and then we say database dot, we say now open, or I think it's database dot worksheet. Yes, I think that's how it should work. And we give the sheet 1 name. So it's a name of this particular worksheet is sheet 1. So shwt 1. So we put it that way, and we run this part, and if now I check it, we'll have a unique ID also for it. So it's IDs. So we can also see the name of all the worksheet which is out there. How we can do that? So we do it this way. So we say list of worksheet kind of WKS, and we just put it this way, database dot worksheets, if I'm not wrong, and we just print this, right? No, we just, I think it's worksheets here, if I'm not wrong. Yes. So this is how we can get the list of all the worksheets, and we have sheet 1 and the sheet 2, right? And that's how it is out here, sheet 1 and sheet 2. So this was the part where we know how we can list all the worksheets, right? And here we want to see a particular worksheet, or to create an object of a particular worksheet, the name we put out here, right? So it's like selecting a worksheet. Now let's say you want to add a new extra worksheet. So we already have sheet 1, the sheet 2, and we'll add a new extra sheets. So how we do that? So it's like, let's say we add, or we just put it this way, database. So we call our database, which is, we already established the connection here, and then we say add worksheet, and we give a name. So let's say a new WKS, okay, and that's the name of our new worksheet, and we just run this. So we see an error. So we also need to put the rows and the column out here. So let me just put the number of rows, let's say 100, and we say number of columns, we say 20. So we need to put in this way, and if we run, we created a new particular worksheet out here. Let me go to this database here. Now we see there's a new worksheet, and which has hundreds of rows and 20s of columns, or yeah, hundreds of rows and 20s of columns. So it's pretty cool, right? We can access everything and we can operate from our Python package. That's pretty cool. And now let's say at times you want to obtain the URL of it, we can do that also. How we do that? We say database dot I think it's like URL, and we just run it here, and we can just copy this, and let's say we open it in a new Explorer, and if it's, we can just directly access it. That's how easy it is to work with Gspread. Now the next part what we will move on to is how we can access a particular worksheet, and not only access it, which we already see out here, how we can access a particular worksheet here with its name. We'll try to access the data from it. So right now we'll be trying to access each and every name from here, right? All the data is within it. So let's try to do that. So now we'll try to access all the records or all the cells from a particular spreadsheet, right? So how we do that? We have a very easy command out here using Gspread. So once we already have established this selection, so here with this command which we have already used, we have already ran the cell. So I'm not running that anymore. We have saved this worksheet as WKS. So we write this WKS.get all records. And if we run this, we get all the records of it. So it comes in this format, right? But we'd rather try to have in a DataFrame format. That's also very easy to do. So we say data, and then we say call the pandas, right? Pandas DataFrame. So we put it this way, and next what we do, we copy and paste this entire thing from here, and we put it here. So we now will convert this entire thing which we obtain the output into a data frame. It's as simple as that. And then we write in this way. We get some error here. So maybe we need to import pandas. So I see import pandas as PD. We have to do it this way. So I'll just rerun this particular cell, and now if I rerun, I hope it will work. So now all our data is in a particular data frame format, and now as you know, it's very easy to do any kind of computation from here. So df.plot, and what we can use is we can just plot a horizontal bar, or yes, like this, and we can give x as maybe as player if I'm not wrong, and we can give y as, let's say, as the edge, right? That's all we need. And we df, I see, sorry, so we have data instead of the df, so we put this way, and now we have a horizontal plot. So it's as simple as that. We selected a worksheet and we access all the data from here, and then we plot using the pandas data frame module, which has the plot function inside it. So it's as simple as that. We can achieve it within few minutes, right, with few lines of code. So that's how what we can do. So we did that. The next part is how we can access a particular cell, or let's say you want to search for a particular cell out here, and what's the position of it, how we can do that. Let's try to do that. Let's say you want to find a keyword from your selected worksheet. So this part is about finding a keyword, right? Keyword from our selected worksheet, right? So let's say from our worksheet we want to find Cristiano Ronaldo, where the position of this Cristiano Ronaldo is in our worksheet. So how we do that, let me show you. So our word is this, right? Yes, perfect. And now we want to find it. We say cell WKS. So we already have created this object WKS before with this line. I will just copy and paste this line so we always remember this, selecting worksheet. So this is something we have used already. It's always required everywhere wherever we are using this WKS object. So this is how we use this WKS object. So WKS dot, and then we say find. It's as intuitive as this, WKS dot find, and then we give our word. Our word was Cristiano Ronaldo, right? And then we just run this thing, and let's see how we see our result. We say R3C1. So this is something that it's a row, third row, column 1. So if we see it's in the third row, column 1, it's right? It's giving us a proper result. Let us save this particular thing in a better way. So we say row. So we say like key row is basically cell dot, I think cell dot row. You'll get like this. And let's say key column, we get cell dot column, right? That's it. And now we can just print both of them and we get our value. So we get the first column and the third row as we expected. So that's how you can actually find a selected keyword. Now let us try with, let's say with Hazard. Yeah, we can try with, okay, let's try with Modric, right? Luka Modric. So we just change our keyword here and we search for it. 1 and 8. I think that's the answer for us. Yes, perfect. So we get the first column and the row A. So that's one of the tasks which we often may need to do. Now let's say you want to find a particular value. So you do the other way around, right? So how we do that? Let's say we want to search for a value in let's say row 3 and the column is 2, right? So we do it this way, WKS dot cell. So we decide on row 3, column is 2, and then we say the value out here and we run this part. We get 33, so which is basically the age of Cristiano Ronaldo. Instead of 2, if we just put 1, we get the value as Cristiano Ronaldo. That's the column 1, right, where we have the player. So that's how you can obtain a particular value. So this is mainly for obtaining the value, right? So here you look for a keyword which the module will search for you, and next you can also obtain the value. Let's say you want to get the list of all the rows in your column. So let's say you want to get list of all the rows in the column age, which is the second column, right? How we can do that? So for that we write in this way. So we say WKS, basically we're selecting the worksheet which we already created the object, and then we write column values, and we put column 2, right? Because that's the second column, right? And we run it, we get all the values of it. So let me select the n number of, so let me select this list as n, right? We run this way, and also we now check the length of it. So if we check the length of it, we see 22 because that's the total number of out here. So now that's another way where you can actually see the list of all the rows in your column with the column value. Our next target will be updating the cell. So how we can do that, let me show you that. So let's say you want to update a new player's name, right? A new name. We say Bruno Fernandes. So I'm a Manchester United fan, so I will update with Bruno Fernandes, and we say a new age, and we will put as, let's say, 27. We can put it like this as value. So once we have this new thing, where we want to put it, right? That's the main question. So we're going to put it Bruno Fernandes. The name should be in the column 1, and it should be in the 23rd position, the 23rd row, right? That's where we want to put it. So how we do that, we say is wks.update cell, and then we put the row number, which is 23, basically 22, the total length plus 1 we add to it, so we say 23. And what will be our value is a new name. I think 23, the column should be 1, and then the value should be new name, right? Similarly, if we use another line where we want to add the new age, and we put it as like this, and instead of new name it will be new age, right? If I'm not wrong, how it is placed this way. Oh, the player name is at 1 and age is 2, right? It's that way. So let's run this thing, okay? And now it shows us a message that it is updated kind of thing with a spreadsheet ID also. Now if we see, we have here the Bruno Fernandes with its new age. So that's easy it is to update your cell. This particular part was to update a new cell from the from your Python script, right? And that's how easy it is to do that. And you can automate this process once you have the length of the column. Instead of directly writing or hard coding this part, you can just put n+1, and you already know the different column names, right? So you can also get the column names from it, and you can just put it there, the first column or the second column. That's how you can update any cell out there. So in the previous part you saw a single update, right? You can also make bulk update. How we can do that? So let's say we want to update a number of ages together, okay? And how we can do that? So we put some list. So let's say we say like this cell list, and we say wks.range. So we put a range of it. So from where to where we put from, let's say B24 to B28 or something, right? Okay, so we say this way, B24 to B28, right? That's the list or the range from where we want to start. And we also want to give some values to it. So that's basically the cell values which you want to put. And let's say there are 4 values which we need to give. We give 20, 24, 25 and 26, right? Those are the 4 values from B24 to B28. And now we start a for loop. So we start like this: for I val, we enumerate through it. So we say enumerate, and we give the cell values. So, and then from here, so this will give us a tuple of an index and the value, and from here we say cell list, and here we say I, and then we put dot value is the val which we obtained, right? And now we just need to update it. So we say wks, similarly what we did before, update cell, or update cells rather this time, because we're updating each of them, and then we update the cell list, right? So this is how we can do this. So we just run this part, and we see it's already been updated, and we see from B24 to 28 is 20, 24, 25, 26. So that's easily we can make a bulk update, right? So these were the very few basic functions which we can achieve using Gspread module and really interact or automate our work with Gspread, with Google Spreadsheet, and you can directly operate, as you can see, from your Python script to your Google spreadsheets. And this is how amazing this Gspread module is. I'll be happy if you leave in the comment section that what are the more features which you want to access, which you want to try on. I'll be happy to make more videos on this particular aspect. And please leave your comments and feedbacks out there. Thank you.